I'm really nervous, so thank you for giving me this opportunity tonight. I was 18 and a senior in high school when I found out I was pregnant. I had a month left before graduation, and I was terrified, like most girls in this situation. I was so afraid of what my parents would think, what my boyfriend would think, and how my life would change. So I was so afraid of losing his affection that I decided to agree and have an abortion. We wrongly thought that it would erase everything and that we'd be given a do-over. And at first life went on like nothing had happened. I graduated from high school, I went on to cosmetology school, but I was dying inside. Couldn't talk to anybody about it. Even though we were still together and dating, we never mentioned the abortion. It was like if we could not talk about it, we could pretend like it never happened. About 9 months later, I found out that I was pregnant again. This time, I told him I couldn't have an abortion. He assured me that it would be okay and that we would raise this baby and we'd be fine. We decided to tell my parents, and together we went to Hope Pregnancy Center in Tulsa. We looked into the option of adoption, and we spoke with a counselor there, and they lent me a book to help me make my decision. And in the end, I decided to keep the baby. At the time, I didn't talk about the abortion. I didn't tell them that I had had one or my parents. And I think that I made the decision to keep my daughter because it helped heal the wound. It was like putting a Band-Aid over the bleeding wound. In May of 1999, about 5 months into my pregnancy, my boyfriend decided that he didn't want to be a father. Left me wondering, how am I going to raise this precious child on my own? So I went back to the center and I started taking their prenatal classes. I learned infant CPR, how to care for the baby, how to care for myself. They just really helped me prepare to be a mother education-wise. And also very practically, I won a drawing for a crib that came with a mattress and bedding, which I wouldn't have been able to afford had it not been for their help. On September 19th, 1999, my daughter was born. She's one of the biggest blessings in my life. It's her, her name's Amber. When her birth father decided not to be in her life, it brought me to the point of complete and total brokenness. Everything that I had been living for was gone. I had been suffering from the abortion, and I was left completely alone, and it's in that point of brokenness that God reached out. He offered me his forgiveness and his grace, and I gave my life to him in complete and total surrender. About 2 years after my daughter was born, I had the desire to return to school and become a school teacher. I wanted to be there as a single mother for my daughter. In cosmetology, you work a lot of evenings and a lot of weekends. And through the generosity of a family from my church, I was able to live in their home rent-free while I attended school full-time. I didn't realize it at the time, but in Tulsa there's a Hope Home that offers this to women so that they can pursue self-sufficiency while they're trying to get their degree. And they also receive a lot of counsel and just practical help while they're trying to raise their children. While a family met this need for me, Hope Home meets it for a lot of others. So for another 2 years, I lived with them. I continued to work part-time and go to school full-time. And one Saturday while I was working, I cut this guy's hair, and we discovered we had a lot of mutual friends. And I later found out that one of them had sent him to get his hair cut by me. It was an effort to set us up, and it worked, because 10 months later I married him. That's Daniel there. And when the birth father had left, I went to the pregnancy center, and they put me in touch with an attorney that explained my rights as a single mother when the father doesn't want to be involved. She explained to me that I could pursue child support, and then he would have all of the rights granted as a father by the state, or I could seek to get consent for adoption, which is what I chose to do. I didn't know what the future was going to hold, but I wanted to be prepared. And I would rather raise my daughter alone than with someone who didn't want to be there. Because of that, and because of the preparation beforehand, my husband was able to adopt my daughter 2 years after we were married, and she became our daughter. Now we have the opportunity of giving back. This year, my husband's company told him that he had $450 to donate to the nonprofit organization of our choice, and we immediately chose Hope Pregnancy Centers. A lot of businesses have a matching program that you can take part of as an employee. We decided to match the company's gift ourselves because of what they've done for me and for our family. And then again, while we were there delivering the check, I met Gayla, the director of the North Center, and she told me about another program that the Hope Home has, which is their Forgiven and Set Free class. And although I've received a lot of healing from the people in my life, the churches that I've gone to, and from a wonderful, loving, and supportive husband, there are areas in my life left from the abortion that still hurt, and this class will help me to heal completely from those wounds left behind. So as you consider tonight whether you want to give or how much you want to give, just please remember all of those girls, young men, and young women that are hurting and are scared, and your gift could save a life and transform another. So just thank you again for this opportunity.